So in my last video about racism in the workplace, I got a lot of comments, but most of the comments were saying that it's expected, it's built in the system, there's nothing you can do about it. And that is very unfortunate because it's untrue. There is something you can do about it. Now, I don't know, I'm not very familiar with the US system, and I know that racism is there, it's just what it is. But I live in Canada. I am Canadian. I work in Canada, and I'm able to make a change, and so are you. If you're watching me and you're a nurse in Canada or you're planning to move to Canada to work, you might want to watch this video or just follow me because I'll be sharing my truth. I'll also be sharing how you can overcome workplace harassment, bullying, and racism. Because there are so many factors that plays into these events, and one of them being that if you accept it, then it will continue to happen. And I know there are so many reasons why this happens, and many of us are just waiting to get something before we leave. But it doesn't have to be that way. I did something about my situation, and I think you can do the same too, and we can make a change. My goal, now don't get me wrong, I don't hate people that I work with. I love them so much. And I want to create a healthy workplace for everybody because when everybody feels safe, when everybody feels heard, when everybody feels welcome, then the patients can have a really good positive experience and the workplace will have less turnover of staff and people would not just be counting days to run away because even if you run away from this hospital, you're going to experience the same thing at another hospital. I know many of us decide to become nurse practitioner. Yes, Canada has the highest number of black nurse practitioners, and one of the reasons why many of these nurses go on to become NPs is because they are trying to find an environment where they don't have to be, where they don't have to deal with these issues, and then they go into practitioners. That way, they can deal with their environment better. But that's not the solution because people are coming and more nurses are coming and we want to leave a better workplace for them, and that is the reason why today I am speaking up and I want you to listen, and I also would like you to do something about it. Now, why do I believe that we can make a change? Now, I went from working in a very extremely toxic workplace, like it was so horrible that I had so many negative effects and I couldn't take it anymore. But now, so that made me start working. I became a travel nurse. Now, a lot of people become travel nurses because they want money or they want to travel. I started traveling because I wanted to run away. So I've worked in many hospitals in BC and Alberta, and none of these places can even compare to where I was running away from, to say the least. Now there are these things happen everywhere, but where I was living was horrible. It was like 100 times worse. But one thing I noticed was that some of these places had what is in place, the type of nurses there and everything. And along the way, I've been doing this for 10 years. I've been nursing in Canada now for 10 years. And for you as a new nurse coming to Canada, or you're just starting out, you're experiencing these things, you can learn from my mistakes. You can learn from all the information that I have so you don't have to go through what I went through. Right now, I hold a casual position at a hospital where everybody is so respectful, everybody is so kind, like every single person. Like I feel seen. I feel like I'm being treated as a professional. Nobody sees my color. Like I don't even feel I like and it's so funny because where I was running away from, I was the only black person there. And in this place, I'm also the only black person there. But how come these two places are different? How come? So you see, there could be change. Now, I have done a lot of work. I've done a lot of strategies. I've learned along the way, and I'm going to be teaching you that, right? But coming from a place where I was the only black person and I was being racially discriminated against, harassed, bullied, and treated like trash to working in a place now where I'm still the only black person there, but everybody from the doctors, the nurses, everybody is just amazing. Like I feel so great. And all this while, I haven't taken a prominent position because I was still dealing with trauma from the first place I started working. And I'm hoping one day I'll take a position with these people when I do through my trauma. But what I'm saying is this: it is possible. It is so possible. And I'm going to be teaching you and I'm going to be showing you what you can do about it. So you can enjoy a healthy environment and welcoming environment like I am currently enjoying now. Now, I still travel because I hold a casual position there. I go to different places to work, and sometimes I see nurses that were like the nurses in my other toxic places, but I've learned how to deal with those people and I can teach you. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you that, okay, you have to fight or you have to do this and do that. No. No, we have to go about this in a very civilized way. And it's all about learning strategies. It's all about learning how to communicate. It's all about learning how to stand up for yourself. Because I made a lot of mistakes when I was working in that place. I allowed a lot of things to happen. I was very naive at that time. I never knew what racism was about because I've always lived in Nigeria, and I've racism, I've only heard it as a word or something that happened in the US or something like that, but I've never experienced it in my life. So when it started happening to me, I didn't know what it was. Like I didn't know why somebody would be talking to me in a very condescending way. I didn't know why, like, people did what they did because I have never ever experienced that before. But now I work in a very loving environment where they're all like white people and they're very nice, welcoming, super sweet, and I just love being there. And I want you to experience that as well. And that is the reason why we're going to work together and we're going to say no to workplace racism against black nurses and other minority nurses. So I'll see you in my next video.